Hello, my name is Jada Brown, and I'm currently a doctoral researcher at Birkbeck College, University of London, researching the embodied lived experiences of Black autistic university students in the UK. More broadly, my research uses an intersectional lens by focusing on the way having multiple identities and positionalities, particularly marginalized ones, impacts how students navigate education. I specifically explore themes relating to belonging, embodied interactions with environments, and how students navigate the systems and structures of education institutions, which have historically and temporarily known to exclude on the basis of race, gender, and disability. I have previously worked in learning support assistant roles in primary schools, have been a carer to autistic children, and worked in equality, diversity, and inclusion and research roles in a university setting. It was an absolute pleasure to participate in this book by IGI Global and edited by the fantastic Dr. Krisha Waldock and Dr. Nathan Keats. I was particularly appealed by their emphasis on showcasing and uncovering different ways to promote inclusive practice, as well as amplifying the voices and experiences of marginalized individuals in different formal and informal education settings, particularly those who are not usually given adequate attention, recognition, and space. My chapter is titled The Educational Trajectory of Black Autistic Students in the UK, a DisCrit Analysis. DisCrit is a really useful theoretical, practical, and methodological framework that analyzes how racism and ableism impact individuals who sit at the intersection of these two forms of oppression, but also how they are inherently connected. Despite autism being prevalent in all racial, ethnic, gender, and age groups, autism research today, particularly in the UK, have neglected Black autistic experiences and voices. And there's a long history contributing to this neglect, which is beyond the scope of my chapter, but is nevertheless really important. The implication is that much of the research being conducted does not necessarily apply to Black autistic people or are related to their lives and experiences. In the context of education, this means Black autistic students are not being understood, are not being diagnosed or being diagnosed later than their white counterparts, and are struggling without culturally appropriate support and resources. Whilst not all students can or want to make the full journey from primary school to higher education, I focus on this trajectory by highlighting some of the experiences Black autistic students have in each of these stages and how they can influence the next, making use as much as possible from the literature and sources from Black autistic people themselves. I focus on themes relating to adultification, stereotyping and criminalization, masking and code switching as a multiple marginalized person, and how ideologies of ability, meritocracy, and normalcy are inextricably linked to whiteness, able-bodiedness, and neuronormativity. I also make a case for the direct application of DisCrit to the classroom, advocate for participatory research, and counter storytelling as research practices that, within a social justice-oriented approach, could work towards transforming education for these students, and at the very least prioritize their involvement in research directly affecting them. I really hope that this chapter draws attention to how all struggles are linked, and all of our efforts towards anti-racism must also involve efforts to combat ableism, classism, sexism, and gender discrimination. I'm really excited to read the rest of the contributions to this amazing edited collection and look forward to using some of the important issues raised in my own practice and work. I am on social media if you would like to connect. I'm SK Jada on Blue Sky and Jada-Brown4 on LinkedIn.